Hi, I'm Brian Mahoney and welcome to Easy English, Best Way to Learn Java. Today we're going to talk about variables, constants, and scope. A variable is a named memory location to store values that can be changed. A constant is a variable whose values cannot be changed during the execution of an application. Final is a keyword reserved for a constant. Scope, in reference to a variable, the portion of a program within which the variable exists, can be referenced. It's sort of like the scope of a variable. The variable lives inside of a neighborhood and it can't step off of the block or neighborhood that it lives in, or else its value is not recognized. So for the purpose of this program, the scope of the variable number 1 is in between these two brackets or lines of code, and the same for all of the variables. This is their scope inside of these brackets. So let's look at the program. We have integer number 1 is equal to 7, and because it's on the same line, integer is also declaring the integer named answer. So that's our two variables here, integer named number 1, integer named answer, and then on the next line we have a constant. So we put the keyword final to indicate this value cannot be changed. So we have variable named number 2, which is equal to 3. We're going to have the program add those two values together, and so let's compile it first. Operation complete, and now we'll run the program. And so we have system out prints that number 1 is 7, number 2 is 3. It's added them together and the answer is 10. But now we've changed the value of the variable number 1 to 5, so the next line will print number 1 is now 5. But what if we change the value of number 2? So let's type in number 2 and let's change that value to, let's just say 4. Put our semicolon there, and now let's try and compile and run the program. And we get an error because number 2 is a constant. Its value cannot change. That value error cannot assign a value to a final variable. So that's the difference. We could change the value of number 1, but we could not change the value of number 2. Now let's go outside the scope. Here's our scope, and now we're going to remove these comment lines. So now the program will be, or these lines of code will now be recognized as we remove the comment lines and try and compile the program. And we get an error because this variable is outside of the scope. It worked okay inside of its scope or its neighborhood, but once it went outside its neighborhood, it's no longer recognized. It's sort of like having an ID to get into a party, but that's just for that one party. It's not going to allow you to get into every single party. So we covered today variables, constants, scope, and the keyword final. For more information on Java, please go to our next video. Thank you. I'm Brian Mahoney, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.